Honestly, Pixar films haven't really been doing it for me lately. Either they feel very complacent and bland in recent memory, or they're just very cringy self-insert stories. That's why I wasn't really excited going into this seeing Inside Out 2, and I was watching it more out of obligation. But having said all that, I was actually pleasantly surprised, not gonna lie.
Riley's life requires more sophisticated emotions than all of you.
You can't just bottle us up!
We are suppressed emotions!
Let Operation New Riley begin.
You aren't packed yet?
I'm the worst!
Well, that's a preview of the next 10 years.
Come on! Riley needs us. Have I ever steered you wrong before?
Many times.
Inside Out 2 is a film about a teenager named Riley whose mind headquarters is going a sudden demolition to make room for something unexpected, new emotions. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust, who have been running a successful operation by all accounts, aren't sure how to feel when anxiety shows up, and it looks like she's not alone. Obviously, very funny, relatable humor when it comes to the emotions, which is no different from the first film. If you've seen the first Inside Out, there's nothing new going on in that department. Same type of humor and effective as well. But the new emotions are especially funny and well done, especially anxiety. I thought it was going to be the writer's own personal self-insecurities being projected onto the audience, only in a way that a millennial woman from the Bay Area could relate to and no one else would be able to. But I was wrong, gladly, that the character of anxiety is not just funny, but it is a very realistic portrayal of anxiety that I think anyone can relate to on a universal level. Even if you don't consider yourself an anxious person, you can see the scenarios play out in this film. And we can all tell ourselves that, like, yes, we've been through this exact scenario and set of feelings before. And that's really what makes the film work in that regard. And so yeah, I thought the story with anxiety was good, but also the topic of puberty I thought was really funny and realistic in this movie. But even on top of that as well, I thought there was a bigger story that was being told here that I think I really appreciated. It was something I think kids do need to hear, which is that it really is a story of not just about puberty specifically, but more broadly speaking, growing up into adulthood and kind of losing that childhood innocence and ignorance. And the film kind of says that, like, hey, you're gonna do things that you're gonna regret, you're gonna make mistakes, life's gonna throw obstacles at you, things will not go the way you plan them to, but that's okay, right? If you make a mistake, humble yourself, be better. If things don't go your way, persevere and have hope. Don't be a cynic, because that's what the human experience is. Human experience is going to be these bad and good things happening to you in your life, and that's okay. That's what makes the human experience special. And on top of that as well, that as you grow into adulthood, you shouldn't let go of some of that childhood simplicity of hope and joy going into adulthood. Otherwise, you become a cynic and you become a complete worse version of yourself. I went to this movie thinking it was going to be a totally different message based off the trailers I saw. I really thought the story was going to be, hey, kids, you're going to be a total asshole to your friends and parents when you're in puberty, but that's okay. If they have a problem with that, that's on them. You be you. No, the film's not like that. I think it is a very humbling yet hopeful portrayal of growing up, and your emotions are changing, and you're starting to notice aspects of life that really aren't as romanticized like the way you thought it was going to be. And so moving away from that of the story and how I thought that was good, I thought the animation was also really good. More specifically, I think in this film, Pixar really experimented with different animation styles when it came to certain side characters. Not the whole film, but like just certain parts of certain characters. And it was a breath of fresh air, honestly. Not in terms of the animation styles, which was really funny and unique, but it also brought with that very unique humor with the animation style, which I think is key to good storytelling in animation. It's like, how do you, using the rules of animation, how do you tell your story and how do you make your audience feel a certain way? And that can include comedy, making you laugh, and you use animation effectively in that regard. Everything was very detailed, and there's a lot of thought put into it, which explains the inflated budgets of these Pixar films. It's been a long time since I've seen a Pixar film in theaters, and I was always bewildered, like, why do these films cost so much, especially when you have something like Across the Spider-Verse, which is amazing. That's like half the budget. But seeing Inside Out 2 in theaters, I can see, wow, okay, I can see like all these tiny little details in every corner of the screen, and that makes sense. Is it wise to do that? That's a debate for another video, and I wouldn't begrudge anyone for saying that they shouldn't do that. But having said that, I respect it because you can see the money on the screen, and it is for a good purpose of artistry and technical craftsmanship. My only big gripe with the film is that I feel like there were some scenes and dramatic scenarios in the film that to me came off as filler, and I don't mean that like this film should have been shorter or felt too long. The movie was only an hour and a half, and it feels fine. What I'm saying is that you have like this main conflict in the story where you have Riley who is deciding between abandon her childhood self and her friends in favor of what she falsely perceives as more popular and superior, and that goes for emotions as well. Her new, more nuanced emotions, as they say, are the simplistic childhood emotions of joy, anger, sadness, etc. Without going into spoilers, there are scenes and sub-conflicts in the film that I thought that it didn't really go anywhere, and it just seemed like it was just there just for padding. Didn't really tie anything well, and I would have preferred maybe those scenes were maybe not deleted, but just rewritten so that everything just felt like it was more connected and motivated. But as a result, some parts of the film just felt like it was just there just for the sake of being there. So yeah, having said that, Inside Out 2 pleasantly surprised me. It's a very entertaining film in both substance and filmmaking technique. And as a result, I would give Inside Out 2 3.5 stars out of 5.
Check, check. Can you hear me? I gotta press the button. Go for Joy. Copy that. Over. Oh, I love him. Just don't look down and keep moving. She'll be okay, right?
50-50.
Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know if you guys plan on seeing this in the theaters this weekend. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. I'll see you next time.